Something big is about to happen, and it is up to Coon and Friends to stop it. Yes, Toolshed. Why do we have to be called Coon and Friends? What? We all fight crime together. How come we're just your friends?
Yeah, we want to be called the Extreme Avenger League.
Yeah!
Extreme Avenger League.
I told you, Tupperware, Extreme Avenger League doesn't work.
Why not?
It's confusing. The Coon is a brand people already know.
Why can't it be Mosquito and Friends?
Nobody's fucking heard of you, Mosquito!
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering, and some epic news. Perhaps the biggest L we've seen in the modern cinema era, getting worse. Before I get into it, I just want to say thank you. Nope, it's not an ad. Thank you to all of you for embracing Sive on this channel. I don't know if you noticed, but editing has been a little spicier, and that's partly because Sive, PewDiePie's editor, has spent the last 3 weeks not only helping on the channel here, but also helping coach up Sean a little bit too. And you know, this is the end of our agreed period. No, that doesn't mean Pewds is coming back. I don't have any information on that. But I just want to say thank you, Sive. It's been real. Now, Birds of Prey has continued to baffle some people in terms of why it's failing at the box office. Now, some of us who are in the know have a pretty good idea why.
I know something you don't know.
It's not just woke marketing. And to be clear, when I talk about woke marketing, I'm talking about like just the media around it. It's not necessarily Warner Brothers or DC coming out and saying like, yeah, slay queen. No. They're not even necessarily responsible for it. I would say the media is more responsible for damaging this movie than Warner Brothers or DC in general. Now, I thought the trailers were underwhelming as well. I thought the cast was underwhelming. Essentially, you take a B or C level character, and then you put them with D, E, and F level characters, and then you expect people to come to the cinema.
It's funny that I only ever see two of you. It's almost like the studio couldn't afford another
Joker.
I think that's probably one of the bigger reasons. It's like you're trying to make an Avengers film before anybody knows who any of these people are, other than Harley Quinn, okay? Yes, the hardcore comic book fans know, the Birds of Prey fans know, but that's like a couple thousand people, maybe 20 to 50,000 people, really know Birds of Prey lore. So you have second and third and fourth tier characters that you've taken no time investing in to make any of us care about them. You just toss it out there and you're like, Woman, please. Woman. Praise be to Woman. Come to the cinema because Woman. I mean, that wasn't necessarily DC, but that was a lot of the marketing around it, including articles that were like, we don't need you, blah, 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 misogyny. Then you had Ewan McGregor, Husband of the Year, talking about how the film takes on misogyny. Again, fans of this film will tell you, rightfully so, that it isn't like a super woke, the movie itself, but it's all the media around it. Like, I had to read endless articles about who the bad guys in the movie sleep with.
Those two should just screw and get it over with. Yeah.
And how Ewan McGregor, Husband of the Year, you know, the man that stepped out on his wife, talking about how this is a great film about misogyny. And you get endless articles about that. You get a couple-day cycle of that. You get a couple-day cycle of who are the bad guys sleeping with. And you get a couple, nobody cares. And then you eventually turn off more and more people. That is undeniable. Well, in probably the most hilarious L we've seen yet, it's so bad they had to change the name. That's right. It was so bad that they decided to change the name.
Picture on the screen is my new channel. Make sure you go check it out. Subscribe and like all my videos.
Birds of Prey, according to the interwebs all over the place, is now changing its name. This is via Entertainment Weekly. Birds of Prey gets new title after disappointing opening at the box office. So this is something that I legitimately criticized. I thought the name was horrible. Horrible. It was like they were banking on the lol so random millennials with the whole, and the fantabulous emancipation of blah, 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 blah. Well, it was a disaster. Nobody knew who Birds of Prey was. Harley Quinn was way at the end of the title, so you'd see it in the box office marquee, and you'd see Birds of Prey, and you had no idea what it was. Boomers had no idea what it was. Casual moviegoers have no idea what it was, and it failed. Now, that is definitely part of it. I've noted that. Many other media pundits have noted that too, but I think it's a little bit too late because by now, everybody already knows what the movie is. You could have made that argument opening weekend, but I don't buy it anymore. Birds of Prey's first weekend wasn't exactly fantabulous at the box office. The DC film opened below expectations with just 33 million domestically. That's like 30% lower, by the way. It's more than 30%, 45% lower than what they expected. There are a few possible reasons. Perhaps the film's R rating. BS, by the way. We know that's baloney sausage because Joker, you have endless movies like Deadpool that did totally fine at the cinema. So I don't buy that. But it seems distributor Warner Brothers has a theory of its own. Potential viewers may not be aware that Birds of Prey focuses on Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn. Well, the studio's now taken steps to make that loud and clear rather than louder and clearer. Though the film's official title is Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn. Again, awful. Take a look at the listings of your local multiplex and you'll see something slightly different. Harley Quinn, Birds of Prey. AMC, Regal, and Cinemark websites are all currently displaying this title, although I will tell you, Rotten Tomatoes, as of right now, still calls it Birds of Prey. Now, this movie, right now, according to this article, while it's not confirmed that the movie's underwhelming box office numbers motivated this change, of course it did! What do you mean? Yeah, I remember when Joker was raking in hundreds of millions, they were thinking about calling it something different. It's safe to assume it had something to do with it, as it's rare for a film to change its title post-release. Birds of Prey has earned $46 million internationally for a worldwide total of $79 million so far against a reported $82 million budget, and it's estimated that it will need to gross up to $300 million to break even. Remember, when people report box office numbers, if it's like, I made 200 million box office, yeah, but the theaters take their cut, and there's a lot of people in the middle chopping up that money before it gets back to the cinema. Remember, also, when you look at budgets, they don't include the marketing budget, which is usually at least as big as the film's production budget.
My guys are an ongoing expenditure, so you best get yourself comfortable with it.
Now, this is a disaster. And it's men's fault, obviously. It's interesting when you read some of these articles. Here's one, Showbiz cheat sheet. Birds of Prey. Why don't some men like the movie? This article on CBR.com. Birds of Prey. Most of the negative reviews are from men. Lord help me, I'm about to dunk on this. Hold on a second. Director Kathy Yan's Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of Harley Quinn, starring Margot Robbie as the clown princess of crime, debuted to a fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes, while the score has dropped as more negative reviews pour in. The most noticeable thing is that the bulk of the negative reviewers are male. Are you kidding me? This is exactly what I'm talking about. This article comes across as apologia for a bad movie, saying it implies that men just don't like the movie. Well, here's the facts. The movie, even right now, after its disastrous opening weekend, is sitting at a certified fresh 80% on Rotten Tomatoes with an audience score of 81%. So, by your logic, why are these reviews so good, you might ask? Because, in fact, it might be interesting for you to know that most people that saw this film were men. 55%. Did you know that? So your girl power, all you lazy Twitiots, faux activists are all out there talking about how men didn't support your movie and blah, blah, blah. Well, men were the ones that overwhelmingly saw the film. Isn't that interesting? So once you know that statistic, wouldn't it make sense that most negative reviews are from men? I mean, don't you think? It's interesting that, you've got nonstop articles talking about, the misogyny and men, aren't seeing it. Well, let me just pull this up. According to Screen Rant, Birds of Prey opening weekend audience was, parentheses, shockingly, 54% male. And I've seen that reported as high as 55% on other websites. So you girls didn't even show up. You didn't even show up for your movie. And I'm not saying all women. I'm talking about people like, on Twitter who are saying things like, well, men didn't do it. Here, how about Norma Jean? Now I watch Birds of Prey, and it's more clear to me while it's underperforming. First of all, it's totally woman-led project, and that's why men are automatically assuming it's against them. It's rated R, and the characters are not attractive or spiced up. Well, Norma Jean, actually, more men saw the movie than women.
You did it!
If you just take a cursory look at Twitter and you just Google like Birds of Prey and men, you'll see endless articles, endless tweets blaming men. How about this guy, Jerry Conway, all right? He's a co-creator of The Punisher, all right? I'm so disappointed by Birds of Prey box office and what it says about the male audience for superhero films. Here's my controversial take. Don't hate me. The movie didn't pull teenage boys because Margot Robbie didn't want Harley Quinn to be spicy as she was in the Squad movie. Bull! Bull! First of all, teenage men couldn't even get into the movie. It was rated R. Second of all, more men saw the movie than women. This is what I'm talking about. Yes, it's not the studio saying men are the problem. It's everyone else around it, and that's what we see. That's why we see this crap, and we're like, pass. I'm not going to see that movie. I'm not even going to give it a chance. There's nothing wrong necessarily with the movie. It was an average film, but the quality of the film doesn't necessarily translate to butts in seats, and it hasn't for a long time. The sites like Rotten Tomatoes are corporate shill sites. Everyone knows that reviews can be bought, and we also know that most reviewers are biased and they're looking to push a political agenda. That's why we saw the movie Joker rated so poorly, even though it made $1 billion. Plus, if anyone should know this, DC should know that you can still have a poorly rated film that does wildly well at the box office, like Venom and other films that they've put out. So this is all BS. And then this clown finishes with this hot take. Captain Marvel and Wonder Woman were hits because they provided superheroes with big special effects and, yeah, beautiful women who wanted to look good in tight-fitting outlets. What? The biggest meme of Captain Marvel was how bland and boring she looked. Remember those memes comparing Brie Larson's butt to Tom Holland's? Yet that movie made $1 billion. This guy's in the industry, and he is either an absolute moron or he's lying. I tend to lead to the fact that he's just virtue signaling and lying. Because then he finishes with, unfortunately, what she may have proved is that the male audience for superhero movies isn't as mature as we'd like to hope, and the female audience isn't large enough to compensate. Well, Jerry, more men showed up to this film than women, and men turned out in droves to see Wonder Woman, obviously Captain Marvel, and plenty of other strong female characters. This is the biggest baloney straw man argument that Hollywood uses to excuse bad filmmaking and woke marketing. I hope you enjoy the failure. Hopefully you'll learn your lesson, but you probably won't. Hope you enjoyed this video. See you later, Sive. We'll talk to you again real soon. Hey, to bring things home at the end here, Sive, I've really enjoyed working with you. To the viewers of this channel, he has his own YouTube channel, which I'm going to link in the description box below. You should definitely check it out. Stop by, give it a subscribe, and say hello. I've appreciated you, bud. I've appreciated all of you embracing him, and we'll talk to you again real soon.